This is it again. I haven't done this before, but I'm going to tell you the date. It's November the 4th, 2019. We just passed Halloween, of course, and here in Mexico, Halloween isn't such a big deal, but the Days of the Dead, the 1st and 2nd November, is a big deal. It's a kind of a, I don't know, ancestor worship kind of thing. Local folks go to cemeteries and they actually take food and flowers and things for the departed family and friends. Kind of have a party there and everything. Anyway, on last week on, where was it? Thursday, I guess, was Halloween, as we know it, and Glenn and I and a good friend from next door, Kathleen, went to dinner together. And Kathleen and I got into a little bit of a discussion. Kathleen is a charming, intelligent lady of roughly Glenda's age, in her mid-70s, I guess. And we were talking about, I brought up the idea of my hobby horse, of course, what she believes and why. And she is a non-believer, and yet she's one of those people that would like to, I don't know, hang on to something. It's kind of the I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. So I always question what that means, because it doesn't. I think there was a time when I tried to pretend that I understood what that meant, but I really don't understand what that means anymore. So I did question her a little bit, and it turns out that it boiled down to she likes to have awe, and I added wonder. So awe and wonder, and I think that's pretty universal. Anybody that doesn't have awe and wonder at the incredible situation that we find ourselves in as human beings is missing out, I think. So anyway, in that discussion, I got thinking about things, because, for example, there's so many things to be in awe of. The first things that always jump into my mind are the fact that we're on this planet, and this planet is hurtling through space at just under 60,000 miles an hour or something like that. And we're making this incredible journey around the sun, which takes us exactly a year to make one trip. But there's closer things to home than that are awe-inspiring. One of the things that jumps to mind is weather. And by that I mean, for example, snow and rain and hail and fog and wind and thunder and lightning and some of those kinds of things. Like, for instance, when it's raining hard, recently we've had downpours where the rain is coming down near like being under a water pump. And one could arguably ask the question, where the hell's all our water coming from? It's like there's a lake up there that's emptying or something like that. And of course we know that's not happening. And we do understand, of course, at least people who study weather and that kind of thing understand how that happens, the water cycle and so on. But there's so much to be, even if we understand, it still doesn't take away the awe. I mean, when a wind gets blowing and it's windy for a day or something, I mean, there's this kind of sense, like, where the hell's that coming from? And like, what's causing it? It just seems to go on and on and on. And there certainly was a time in our primordial past when we thought maybe it was somebody was over there blowing, you know, whatever. Also in other phenomena in nature that create a sense of awe and wonder, things like I mentioned lightning and thunder and all of that, but rainbows, for example. And a few years ago, we saw a rainbow that I'd never even heard about before. This was the most incredible thing. It looked like a rainbow, except what it was, we were in Acapulco on one of my frequent doctor's visits at that time. And from a taxi, the taxi driver encouraged me to look up at the sun when he was making circle signs and stuff, and I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Yeah, the sun is round, what are you talking about? But when I glanced up, I couldn't stare at it, of course, the sun. And unfortunately, I couldn't, because it was the most spectacular thing. There was a rainbow in a circle completely around the sun. And this is a real phenomenon. I didn't imagine it. And apparently it happens with some kind of regularity. It looked exactly like a rainbow, except that it was in a complete circle with the sun at the center. So anyway, you know, when talking with religious people, I think part of what drives religion is they get this sense of awe and wonder, and maybe they're not happy with scientific explanations and that kind of thing. And also there's the thing, if they accept their scientific explanations, it undermines their explanation, or it's not an explanation, it's no explanatory power, but they claim that God does it. So the whole idea of awe and wonder may be involved with my whole question, and this thing that I've been doing for the last 20 years, trying to understand and perhaps encourage people to question why they believe that kind of stuff, that there's gods and spirits and devils and all of that, which of course makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't believe in the existence of any of those things. Spirits, gods, devils, they just do not exist. Okay, thanks. Once again, it's November the 4th, 2019. My name's Ed, and I've said before, I'm 79 years old. So, by the way, every time I look at one of these videos, I'm kind of a little embarrassed, because I notice my signs of aging that I don't notice from this perspective. But when I'm looking at the video later, I go, oh my God, who is this old guy? Anyway, excuse me for that little outburst, and thanks for watching, for anybody that is watching. Until the next time, bye.